Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Wrench and Wallow. If you haven't been watching, we are body swapping. Well, technically not body swapping, but we are swapping two 4Runners, a 5th gen and a 1st gen. In the previous episodes, we managed to get the engine from the 5th gen into the 1st gen. And we cut the floor and the firewall out of both 4Runners because the idea is to basically transplant everything from the 5th into the 1st. We're talking the floor, the interior, tranny, rear differential, all of that. In today's episode, we are dealing with this guy, which is the dash. Now, in the previous episode, in the last one, we got to the point where we managed to fit the cage that holds the complete dash together and all of that. The radio, the head unit, steering column, the cluster, all of that in place. So we got it into the 1st gen, but in order to set it in place, we need to get this guy right here, which is basically just the top of the dash, and cut it to size, because the 5th generation 4Runner is about 4 inches wider than the 1st. So today we are going to be attacking that. So let's get to it. Here we go. So we've been throwing hours after hours at this. This is the external part of the front dash. This is everything that holds all of the trims and pieces and make it look pretty. The cage is already in Consuela, and the reason we haven't set that in place or made the side brackets that we mentioned in the previous video to hold it in place is because we need to know at what distance we set this dash. Once I put this and I attach it to the cage, I can have the cage in there, mark my place, and say, okay, let's make some brackets on the sides that hold everything right there where it is. So for now, we need to take off 4 inches out of this. Very technical episode probably, but it is what it is. We are doing what needs to be done in order to get this project going, okay? Let's get going. It should fit. Now we got to bring it over into the 1st gen, and I'm excited for this because for the first time ever, I'm gonna see the dash in place and how it looks and how it feels, and I'm pretty hyped up. Let's go. I'm always doing this. I love it. I'm so hyped as I'm saying this. This is the 5th generation dash into the 1st gen. Now, we're holding this together with clamps, so mind you, this is not the final position or anything like that, but this guy fits and looks good. Now, this is crucial for my next steps, okay? We talked about this before, and I'm gonna say it again. This, once I set this in place, once I measure everything and make sure it is where it has to be, then I can move on to the engine and slide it back and forth depending on the firewall. This dictates the position of the firewall. Once I weld the firewall and this piece of floor in place, I will slide the engine back as much as I can. Now, you might ask yourself, is there room for you to play around with the engine? And I'll show you this right here. That is the back of the block, and that is the box for the evaporator. So the evap and the engine block have about, I want to say like 8 inches or so of clearance where we can just slide that 1GR back a little bit and play with that. It is another day and we were able to make this shop look a little better. We brought out Consuela all the way up front, the internal cage for all of that. Now today, we are gonna be making some brackets, right? We're gonna be making some brackets to hold the cage and all of this to the body right here. So I'm probably gonna be making some templates using paper or cardboard, and then from there, and cut them out with that little guy right there, which is our plasma cutter. And then we're gonna weld that up. And for that, we have to come take a look at this new baby right here. So shout out to the people over at Everlast Welders. They sent us a brand new freaking welder. And I am so excited about this because our previous small welder all the way back there could not take the beating anymore. I don't know if you guys remember, but when we did the chassis reinforcement, the frame reinforcements on Consuela, we were struggling. We were running out of, we were not getting any CO2, a bunch of issues. So we reached out to Everlast, and it turns out needed someone who could do bilingual content, some of the Spanish stuff, because they're opening up a new market in Latin America. And they agreed to partner with us, and they sent us this Hurricane welder, I think it is. It's the lining, my bad. Not the Hurricane, but the lining. This thing can do TIG, MIG, stick, whatever you want to do with it. They sent us the cart. So let's unbox this beauty, because we're probably going to be using it today. And let's put it together and let's see what's in there. Let's keep this baby going. Bueno, una pequeña pausa para mostrarles todo lo que trae este aparato. Esta máquina, en comparación a nuestra pequeña y humilde máquina anterior, es una animalada. Esta es una máquina de 225 amperes, modelo Lightning 225 de la gente de Everlast, ¿ok? Fíjense la animalada de pico de MIG, ¿ok? Que trae en comparación a aquel chiquitito que es el viejo. Nos trajo reguladores, nos trajo la pinza para soldar con electrodos, nos trajo todo el tema de la antorcha, las copas, el pedal, que está por aquí abajo, todo para soldar MIG también. Creo que esto es una de esas cosas que nos van a hacer subir el nivel de fabricación del taller de aquí hasta aquí. O sea, vamos a poder empezar a soldar acero inoxidable, a soldar aluminio, todas esas cosas que obviamente vamos a ir progresando a ayudar a esta señorita a salir adelante. Por lo menos el tema de los bajantes, que ya sabemos que pegaban del chasis, nos va a ayudar bastante. Así que bueno, vamos a terminar de hacer el setup aquí, la llevamos allá atrás y empezamos a darle llave y soldadura allá adentro. This thing is definitely massive, and I'm sure we're gonna use the crap out of it. For now, remember how we had the dash in Consuela? We took everything out again because now we need to work on a way to mount it there. We had it there with clamps, we had it there with some blocks on top of the tranny. But if you come in here with me, I'll show you what we're gonna do next. All right, so this These 4 mounting holes right here are where the cage for that first gen dash, which was just one tube across, would mount, okay? This is the mounting locations stuck on the first gen. Now, if you saw the video a few minutes ago, when we had this, the 5th gen dash in here, the cage for the 5th gen dash ends up being all the way out here. So we're talking about 2 or 3 inches from the pinch weld of the door, which is completely normal. On the 5th gen, your dash comes out about 6 or 7 inches. When you open your door, it's gonna be basically the same here. I truly don't care about how much it comes out this way. We put it there, it looks good, it looks fine, it doesn't feel like it's way too much. So it's gonna stay in there, okay? Now, let's make a template from here with some cardboard probably, or some thick, like some good stock paper, and measure this, bring it into CAD, and then we're probably gonna use the plasma cutter, the CNC, to cut this out of here. Mind you, we need to make like some type of arm that comes all the way out here where we can weld that cage. That way we can mount it to this body and it'll stay there nice and solid. This is gonna hold our cluster, our steering column, our everything that goes into the dash. So this is vital for us and we need it to be very sturdy. So let's take some time doing this and let's make sure we do it right. We are gonna bring out the big guns. I have a 3D scanner. I have CAD knowledge. I'm an engineer, so I can do this. And I said, why not? So we brought out our good, reliable 3D scanner. We are gonna scan all of this area and make some custom mounts using the CNC plasma cutter and some CAD design and probably the bender, because this thing's got a little bend right here. And then we're gonna bring it all the way out here with a nice, solid, CAD designed and super precision engineered bracket for that cage. So let's get this rolling, baby. I gotta stick some of this reflective dots all around so the scanner knows where it's going, right? Let's set this up, let's start scanning, and then we'll move over to the computer to see what's up. It literally took us 2 minutes to scan the whole thing. We got the result here in the computer. Now all we got to do is process this. As you can see, we got the section perfectly scanned. From here, all we got to do next is basically draw on top of this what we need to cut from the CNC. Make sure we bend using the sheet metal features on Fusion. We bend everything and we bring it out so we actually make it, but this is pretty cool. Phew. I'm out here in my office, and it looks like I kind of got the design right. Now, mind you, one thing, this is just to test the design that we're gonna use to see if it falls in place, kind of, right? So let me show you what I've been working on. This is the part that we created. These are the bend lines for it. Let me see if I can show you what it looks like. There we go, right here. This is what it looks like, right? It's got that little bend in there. This is the 3D scanned section that we had from that body on the car, on the 4Runner. And now I brought it over and I got the G code right here. So we are gonna go back out to the shop and try to cut it right with the CNC plasma. Now mind you, again, this is gonna be a test run. It's probably gonna be a wrong one, just version 1. I know this is overkill, but I like to develop my skills by using them, right? So if I don't start struggling with new parts and new simple things like this that I might do just a cardboard design and keep going with it, I'm never gonna get really good at this so that I can use it when I need it in very more complex tasks, let's say, later down the road. So for now, let's try and cut this one. We're gonna head out to the shop, bring out the plasma cutter, run the G code and see what we get out of there. If we get a good flat piece of metal, we'll bend it where it needs to be bent, and then hopefully throw it in there, see what's up. Okay? Yes, sir. Well, moment of truth. All right, we got both of them cut. My hair's a mess. I don't care. We got both of them cut. Looking good, looking nice. Now, I am going to bring them over to my bender over here. Sorry for that. And put a little bend right around there, then flip it over and bend it so that it follows that shape on the body in there. So let's get both sides bent, and then we probably bring the whole thing in there and tack weld it in place. It's about time. Let's go. All right, so I got that bend. I don't know if you can see that bend right here. Goes straight into that line, and it's matching here, and it's matching up there, which is honestly pretty freaking cool. I don't know if you can probably see it here, that bend. And now we got to tighten these, put this in place, do the same for the other side. It's just hanging there, and it'll connect the cage. Let's freaking go. I just got this guy out here because I think if I remove the whole box for the AC, the heater, everything, that white thing over there, it's going to be a lot more maneuverable, let's say. So I'm going to be able to take it in there because I'm all alone today. So I'm going to be able to put it in Consuela and make some measurements, because this tube right here and this tube right here will be the ones connecting on those two brackets that we just made. So let's try and figure this out. Let's make it lighter, and let's make it so that I can probably move it around better. My boy Kevin got here, which means it's going to be a lot easier for us to move it, being two people, right? So we are now in the crucial moment of bringing this cage in there. We're going to shorten it a little bit, a couple millimeters. I think we're going to need to shorten it, weld it in place, or tack weld it in place, bring in the dash, make sure everything lines up, and that's going to be the final position. That's going to be where it's going to sit forever. So let's get to that. I think we're gonna do some moving around the shop because it's a mess right now, and I want to fix that. And then we're gonna bring that cage in there. So let's get it, baby. So we got her in place. Pretty hyped up about this one. As you can see, the brackets are doing their job. It's looking good so far. However, I still gotta take off maybe 1/8 of an inch on each side because I feel like it's pushing outside a little bit and I want it to be flush, okay? Next step is I'm gonna bring it in with the dash, with the actual black plastic on the dash. And that's the one that's gonna tell us where in here, if we go back, forward, whatever it is, that's the one that's going to tell us the position based on the windshield line that we showed you. So let's bring it out. Well, it's been about an hour of overthinking, and sometimes it looks like it's going to be too high, sometimes it looks like it's going to be too low. If we go too low, we're going to hit the trans tunnel. If we go too high, we're going to eat up half of the windshield. So we got to get the right measurement. Now, in order to do that, we are going to have to bring in the AC unit and all of that, measure the height from the floor to the dash, or at least to the lower vents on the dash. And then from there, we can probably have an idea of where the floor is gonna sit on this body, okay? So, for now, we are back to basics. We are bringing it out again and making some measurements. Let's bring it out and let's keep going, okay? So this is our bracket. We got plenty of space for us to weld in here and then cut off the rest. But this top section right here, the actual nut where it bolts in the 4Runner, it's got a gap, you already saw that, and we got some aluminum spacers, which I think are gonna do the job just fine. They're 10 millimeters thick, which is perfectly what we needed over there. We measured that, ordered them online, and they just got here. So we're gonna use those to fix this in place and then bring in the cage and weld it to Consuela. Now, we did a lot of math and a lot of calculations. And then in this line right here where the windshield meets the dash, we figured out the best way to do it was to keep this original, I won't say it's like a trim, but it's a metal trim that goes right under the windshield. And we can somehow cut this line that it's got on the dash up here and then match it to that. And then the cool part is we're gonna be able to keep the duct vents because we're aligning these with the original ones up here. So that's gonna be a cool one. So for now, fix those in place, bring the cage in place, and then we're gonna have, before we weld, we're gonna have to figure this one out because this is gonna tell us where the position of the whole dash and the whole cage is gonna be. Once we find out where this is gonna sit, we find out where the cage sits up there, and then we find out where that tube sits somewhere in this bracket, weld it in place, cut the rest off, and call it a day. I don't want to keep talking. This video has been talking, but it's needed, right? In order for you guys to understand what we're going through over here. So I'm gonna stop talking for a bit unless it's necessary, and let's get to working. Okay. All right, here we have it. The line is, I know it looks weird because of the yellow paint, the orange paint, but it flows perfectly. Like we cut it, it matches. And now all we gotta do is bring this trim section, bring it into the 4Runner, bolt it in place, and now we know where the dash is gonna go. So as you can see, that's what the finished trim on the dashboard is gonna look like, and I am stoked about this. We put the door in place. You might wonder why. Because this bracket that we just made might hit the door, and it doesn't. It does a little bit down here, but we don't care about it because we're gonna trim it. It's probably gonna end up somewhere around here, and in there, it's got plenty of space. I wanna say about maybe 1/4 of an inch, which I think it's good enough. And remember that these door cards are gonna be removed. We're modifying and making some new door cards, so I don't care about that. So now let's bring that plate back in and hopefully bring it all together. Let's go. Well, dash is in place. Now we just gotta weld it here and there, but before that, I brought in the cluster because I wanna make sure that we get the angle on this right. Mind you that the dash fits perfectly over here. Look at this, the way it sits in here. I don't know if you can see it from the outside, but it looks OEM as hell, and I love that. So for us to get the right angle, we're gonna put this in here and measure it with the other 4Runner, the 2015 that we have out there. Make sure everything's right before we weld. But I think we are good to go.
Perfect.
Well, this, and I dare to say this is the world's first 5th generation interior in a 1st gen, right? This, it's sitting in there by its own means. It's now sturdy, fixed, and solid. I'm pretty sure it's flipped, but I'll flip the video if it's flipped. But that's the 5th generation dash in the 1st gen. Now, I'm happy because even though this whole thing is moving backwards, it's gonna move towards the back of the vehicle at least a good 4 inches, as you can see. With all this space we got between the block and the firewall, we're gonna be able to move it back a lot so that we can fit the radiator and the fan in there, which is gonna be perfect. So everything clears, everything's looking good, and I'm pretty hyped up about this. So that's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Alfredo. This is Rancho Wallow. See you guys on the next one.